Alright, everyone. So I'm doing something a little bit different than what I normally do. Um, I'm actually going to be covering some Latin, and even though it's not really my forte, I'm much better at math than I am at Latin. People were asking me on Instagram for videos on Latin, so I asked like what sort of content regarding Latin would people want to see? And Catullus came out to be the clear favorite. So Catullus is what I'm covering. Um, so I already kind of started recording, but I messed up bad. Like stumbling over my words and stuff. So I just decided to start over again. So as you can see, I'm starting out with scansion. We're looking at the first line of this first poem. Um, And you can see that this poem is in hendecasyllabic meter. So that means it follows this format, basically. Um, with regard to the first two syllables, Catullus usually likes to um, make them long syllables. And because this meter is so, straightforward, um, it's fairly easy to perform scansion. Um, There are rules on what vowels or what syllables should be long and what should be short. Um, there are also these things called elisions, but I'll get to both of those when I get to them. So as you can see, I've already done the scansion for this. So regarding the first one, qui, that's a double vowel, so that's long. Uh, dono, that's both of them are just long by nature. Lepidum, we have two short, and then the last syllable is followed by both an M over here and an N over here. So it's followed by a double consonant, so that makes it long. Novum, short and then long because the M and the L, and then labellum, short, long, and then that's our last syllable. Uh, so as you can see, based on some of the rules for scansion, this this line clearly follows the hendecasyllabic meter. Um, so now let's do a bit of a deeper dive into this poem. So the first line, qui dono lepidum novum libellum, uh, that sort of translates to over here, to whom do I give? And then these three uh, are basically this new, charming little book. Um, let's take a look at this. Uh, let's take a look at this verb. It's indicative mode, and it's not subjunctive. So that's So Catullus could have said something like, "To whom shall I give this?" That would be the subjunctive. But instead, he is choosing to use the indicative, and that translates more so to who am I giving this to? Um, with regard to lepidum, that sort of emphasizes that the book is, you know, charming and witty rather than uh, super impressive. Um, Furthermore, libellum, we're using the diminutive instead of the regular book for regular word for book, which is librum, and that's sort of like self-deprecating. But I guess that's enough on the first line. It would take forever if I kept on going like this slowly. Uh, and the second line sort of translates to just now polished with uh, a dry pumice stone. Uh, and the third line is to you, Cornelius. And let's talk about Cornelius for a little bit. Cornelius here is referring to Cornelius Nepos, who is a poet, biographer, and historian. So Catullus is basically dedicating this booklet to Cornelius. And it says, and it continues, for you were accustomed uh, to think uh, that my nonsense was something. What something is right there. Uh, and then over here, that's even then. Uh, over here, this word cum means a lot of things, but in the context of this poem, it means when. Uh, when you alone dared to unfold the entire history of the Italians in three, uh, in three, I guess, I guess papers or whatever. Um, Furthermore, this line continues, or this poem continues, uh, learned, uh, learned by Jupiter and full of labor. And we have, therefore, have, this is imperative, uh, for yourself, whatever this is, of a little book. And this libelli is a partitive genitive, um, and quale cumque roughly translates to, of whatever sort. And you can see Catullus is being sort of very self-deprecating and very modest here. Uh, and it continues, which, O patron maiden, uh, may it remain, oh shoot, may it remain uh, everlasting, and then more than one lifetime. So Seclo over here, that word basically means, it could mean an age, lifetime, generation. Uh, it can mean a lot of things. So let's move on to the second poem, which is To Her Sparrow. Um, so I guess let's do some more scansion, just for practice. Okay, so once again, this is in hendecasyllabic, so um, this shouldn't be too bad. So the first two are going to be long, then this is going to be long, short, short, long. This is a double vowel, or diphthong, so it's going to be long. May. This is, once again, double diphthong, and then puelle. So as you can see, it also fits the hendecasyllabic meter. So long, 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 short, short, long, short, long, and um, so I guess let's continue with the translating. So it begins with, this is sparrow, and this is vocative. Favorite of my girl. Or pet or darling. With whom, where is it? I believe, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna look at the with whom she is accustomed to play, and to hold in her lap. Regarding qui cum, this is actually a very old alternative to the word quocum. And then for whom, seeking greedily, she's accustomed to give her index finger, and to provoke sharp bites. Oh, there's the she's accustomed to. That's all the way down there. Um, Look, I'm out of practice, okay? Um, Now, we continue when it is pleasing for my shining object of desire. That's what desiderio means. To make some kind of joke and the relief of her grief. I believe so that this is a purpose clause, so that her heavy passion may become quiet. So Catullus continues, if only I were able, so this is subjunctive, were able to play with you yourself, and to lighten the sad cares of your mind. So, interestingly enough, there are some missing lines here. Missing lines. And the rest is what we have managed to find. So I guess we continue. It's as pleasing to me as, so that's a comparison, uh, that, oh, what did I do? As that golden apple was to the swift girl, uh, that loosened the girdle of her belt, which has been tied for a long time. So, this is referencing the story of Atlanta. Uh, Atlanta, where basically she said that, if you won a foot race with her, uh, you got to marry her. If you lost, you died. Um, so there's this guy named Melanion, I think, uh, and the god Venus gave him a golden apple uh, to place in Atlanta's path, and that basically Melanion, I guess that was the reason why Atlanta lost that one race. Um, so some people believe that the sparrow is um, some people believe that the sparrow is serves as a metaphor for uh, and this is going to be a little bit, but some people believe that it's going to be, or that it is a metaphor for Catullus's penis. Anyways, let's move on to the next poem, which is called Lament for a Sparrow. Um, and it goes, before we do that, let's do another scansion. So once again, this is hendecasyllabic. So one thing to note is that when you have a vowel followed by another vowel, and there are two syllabi, uh, or syllables. Sorry, I'm thinking. Uh, the two are there's an elision, so that means these two are basically combined. So it would sound a little bit like lujato. Notice that the e has sort of blended in with the o. Well, not blended in, but the o is sort of, I guess, replaced it. And then short, short, long, short, long, short, long, and then that would be long, but it's the end. So Jato Veneres Cupidinesque. Um, keep in mind, this is like the first time I'm seeing these poems for um, I haven't seen them since like junior year, so please be nice. Um, so I guess let's continue. Uh, we have basically Moin, Oh You Loves and Cupids, and such is all the beautiful people of, Roman high society. Note that this is genitive, partitive, partitive genitive. my girl's sparrow is dead. And it continues, sparrow, pet of my girl, whom she loved more, plus, than her eyes. This basically means, this melitus means that the sparrow was honey sweet to her, and this norat might not seem familiar, but it's just like I guess, an abbreviated form of noverat, which means to know, and knew her, uh, as well as her own mother, but did not move from her lap, but hopping about here and there, and take note that when you consider these elisions, which ends up sounding, I think, like modhuk, modiluk, that sort of imitates the hopping around, so there's a bit of that going on. Let's continue. And basically says chirped to his mistress alone. Now he goes down the shadowy road, and this is a pretty interesting line because it is sort of indicative that Catullus doesn't really see much but darkness after life, so that might be something to note. And he even continues, from which they say no one returns. Now let evil be yours, evil shadows of Orcus that devour everything of beauty. For you have stolen the lovely sparrow from me. And then I guess he keeps going. O evil deed, O poor sparrow. And the last few lines are basically, now by your work, the eyes, and this is sort of diminutive, so usually it would be oculi. The eyes of my girl are swollen and red by weeping. Should I do the fourth one? This one is pretty long. You know what, I'll just do the scansion for this, and I'll end it here. I feel like I've made enough of a fool of myself. But this one is not in hendecasyllabic. It is in iambic sonarii. And I'll explain that, but Catullus ille quem videtis hospites. Okay, so iambic sonari is basically this, which is an iamb, short, long, repeated 6 times. So I guess that's what it's supposed to be. And there are no elisions here. So Catullus ille quem videtis hospites. And it basically keeps going on like that. So yeah, I don't know. Is this helpful? Should I keep doing this? I don't know. It was pretty fun to record, I guess. So I'll be returning to my math videos very shortly, and I will see you in the next video.